What is going on? Welcome back to Footballer Central. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day you're watching this. Back with another video for you all today. A little bit different than usual. Typically my videos are me talking and telling you ways that you can improve your game as a footballer. But I am mixing up my content. I'm going to be putting out some videos on gym work, mobility, training exercises, and different things that you can do to improve your game. So today specifically, we're focusing here quickly on hip mobility. It's something I've seen throughout my playing and coaching career that players really struggle with. It's something that I struggled with. I picked up during my playing career 2 broken hips on that left side, which has also adversely affected my right hip. I've gone through physical therapy, I've done so many things, but it does still bother me. So I still continue to do hip flexibility and mobility for me personally, but I've also seen other players that have issues with their hips, that have hip flexor issues and different things going on that they struggle with. And it is something that's so important for footballers and athletes. So that's what we're going to do today, just a quick hip flexibility and mobility workout. Let's dive in. All right, so the first stretch we're going to get into today, we're going to sit down. We're going to get into butterfly pose. So as we're doing this, whatever your level of flexibility is, factor that in here. All right, if you want to bring the heels closer to you, if you want to push the knees down further, if you want to lean forward and get a better stretch, whatever feels good for you is what you can do right now. Again, we're just looking to take it easy. I view this as more of a recovery type of stretch. For me personally, I had 3 hours of private training last night, so my hips are feeling it. Like I said, I've broken my hip twice previously, so after heavy days like that, hours and hours of private training, I carry a lot of soreness in my hips, so I look to do this more as a recovery. And another thing that we can look to do while we're in the butterfly stretch is just walking our hands to the side. Can we reach out? Can we lean in? Can we get a little bit of a torso stretch? Again, a little bit of mobility, walking our hands around, getting a bit of a stretch to each side, remembering that nothing we do in this should cause any pain. And if it does, then scale it back a little bit. Just make sure you're feeling a good stretch, but not pain. So now I've screwed back just a bit so we can show the full range of motion with what we're doing here. But as we come out of the butterfly stretch, we're just going to spread our legs and we're gonna have a slight bend in the knees. And we're just gonna go side to side, trying to get some mobility. Again, this shouldn't be painful. If you can go flatten with both at 90 degrees, that's great. If there's one side that's a little bit more tight, we can take it a bit easy. For me, again, going to the left is slightly more difficult, but you can go and keep your legs a little bit off the ground. Whatever feels comfortable here, just getting a little bit of mobility as we rock side to side. And as we do this, we should start to feel it open up a little bit. We should start to feel a little bit more loose, and it'll feel a little bit more comfortable as we do it. And then here, we'll just transition, both legs straight, just lean in to the right leg. Again, if you want to go all the way down and get a really good stretch, you can do that. For me, I'm treating this more as a recovery. So again, just going down, feeling that stretch. This is a little bit more through the hamstring, of course, than through the hip and for hip mobility, but this is another lower body stretch that I do after a particularly tough session, training, or whatever it is. Let me go ahead and rotate. We'll go to the left. Same thing on this side. Shouldn't experience any pain. It should just be a little bit of a stretch that you're feeling up through your hammy. And make sure you focus on your breathing. Maintain solid breathing, deep breaths. As we go to the middle, I like to just fold my arms and get a little bit of a stretch here. You can feel this up through the hamstrings and through the groin as well. If you want to put your arms fully out and lean, get onto your forearms and get a full stretch in here, you can do that as well. And then coming out of that stretch, we're now going to transition into tabletop position. I'm going to switch to the side so you can see a little bit better here. We're going to be on our knees, toes pointed down into the floor, palms facing down on the ground. Now we're going to get some hip mobility, and we're going to take our right leg We're gonna push out and then make a big circle as we come around. Footballers, a lot of the times we do this warm-ups before games or for training. We call this open the gate, but now we're doing it on the ground, and you should really start to feel this one, start to work and make bigger circles as much as we can comfortably here. Now we'll go ahead and we'll bring this leg forward, knee directly over the ankle, and we'll lean into it. We can straighten out that back leg a little bit, and we should feel a really solid stretch here with this one as we lean into it. Again, if we want, we can go ahead and lean back a little bit if that's too much of a stretch, and we can start to push in this way, or if it feels comfortable, we can lean even further into it and really get a good stretch here. Let's stay in here for just another few seconds, and then we're going to go ahead, put that leg back, and then we'll transition to the other side using the left leg now. Hopefully I'm not going to kick my bench here, but we go palms down. We straighten that leg and we get a full range of motion as much as we can here. And we should really feel this opening up our hips. All right, now let's go ahead and step that leg forward and get a good stretch as we lean in to this lunge here. Should be feeling a really good stretch at this point. You should start to be feeling warmed up a bit now and a little bit loosened up. All right, and moving on to the last exercise. I told you this would be a quick stretch to just get some hip mobility and a lower body stretch. Now, on our knees, we're gonna kick that right leg out, straight leg, toe pointed up. We're used to leaning into this leg, which is a good stretch, but what I like to do here is I like to lean to the opposite side, arms down, and then try to drop into that position, into that stretch a little bit. So we're leaning back, pulling our weight back, and we should feel a really good lower body stretch here, as well as a little bit of a torso stretch as we're leaning to the opposite side. And then we'll come back to center, kick that knee back, and let's go to the left side. Again, left leg straight out, toe pointed up. Let's walk the hands out to the other side, and then just lean back into that stretch. All right, and that's going to conclude the hip mobility and lower body stretch that we're discussing today. So again, it's a quick one. You can stay in those positions a little bit longer if you want. If something feels good and you start to feel it, you loosening up, it's opening up, starting to really feel that stretch, don't be afraid to stay in there a little bit longer. Likewise, if it's not enough of a stretch, you can take it one step further than I do. You can lean into it more. Whatever your body needs is what you need to do. And it's so important to keep in mind that this isn't a competition. It's not a me versus you. It's not you versus yourself or you versus somebody else. When we're talking about stretching, it's important to factor in that the reason that you're doing it is to give your body what your body needs. So if your body needs a very light stretch and recovery, don't go as deep into that stretch. Don't try to beat how far you were going into a stretch last time. But if your body's not feeling a lot of that soreness and you're able to get deeper into that stretch, go ahead and get deeper into that stretch. So I hope you found this video helpful and beneficial, something that you can save and you can watch later if you want to do it on Saturday mornings or the day after a difficult training or a difficult match that you had. Again, I hope this was beneficial. I'll continue posting videos that'll help footballers and athletes to perform better on the pitch. But thank you for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe because I will continue posting regular content. I appreciate you all. Have a good day.